Well, hello everyone, and happy Saturday to everyone out there in this wonderful, beautiful land known as the USA. And joining me today is Mr. Tyler from the Gaming Shelf. How are you doing, sir? Uh-oh. Oh, dear. I think you might have had to step away real quick for something. But once he rejoins or reconnects here, hopefully he can be able to hear me. But his audio might be having just a slight issue. I'm going to check Discord, see if private chat, nothing there. Okay. Maybe just got distracted real quick because he is a father, so sometimes that happens. But for everyone that is new to the show today, we are once again continuing this episode of Legacy Loading. Legacy Loading is a documentary-based review channel. Oh, hello? Well, I'll continue on my spiel. Where we covered gaming documentaries, both from the past, present, future, and other gaming forms of media. And we have been focusing mostly right now in the early episodes with the G4 Icons series. G4 Icons was a TV show back in 2003 that covered gaming topics from iconic creators, video game series, and on top of that, just gaming consoles and stuff. And today's episode will focus mostly on the original Xbox, when it came out, how it came to be, so on and so forth. And yeah. We'll give our guest here a little chance here. Tyler, you there, Tyler? Earth to Tyler. Ground control to Major Tyler. We'll still wait here a little bit. It sounds like he's having a little bit of audio issues. I know he was muted, but hopefully nothing happened with his mic too badly there. But yeah, recently we've done other episodes in the past. Oh, he had to back out real quick. He says he had audio issues. All right, here we go. Testing. Better? 1, 2, 3. We can hear you much better. How are you doing?
I am so sorry.
No problem. But like as I was saying before, like I said, the show we're covering today is about the original Xbox and how it came to be, the people behind it, and of course, like I said before, I have my guest here, Mr. Tyler. Tyler, would you like to introduce yourself to these fine people, who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. I'm Tyler. I work on gameshlf.com for tracking your video game collection. I've been an Xbox fan forever. Since the original Xbox, I jumped on that bandwagon, and ever since I've never left.
Yes, I am also a Xbox fan. I play all sorts of video games, but Xbox is kind of my main platform of choice. I know that's not a popular thing to say nowadays, especially in the online circles. But, you know, I still like it. I remember the first commercial I saw that made me not want to get Xbox, actually, ironically enough, was Halo.
Oh man, I didn't know that. I got a good story about the original Halo. I also did not like it originally.
Yeah, when I first saw a commercial for it when I was like a little kid, back when the original Xbox came out, all those years ago, I saw a commercial for it flash on my TV, and I said, "This looks bad."
Yep, yep, yeah. I remember the first time I picked it up, and I had to use the two sticks. I was an N64 kid before this, and so it blew my mind. I did not like it at first.
Yeah, see, I didn't get an Xbox until much later in the generation, until after they redesigned the Duke to get the Duchess controller, which was the much tinier one a
Hmm.
little later on. And I remember the first two games that were packed in for it were the original Clone Wars video game and Tetris. It was a Tetris pack in for that. But the first time I actually got my hands on an Xbox, my dad lived in an apartment and he had a neighbor who had a really fun giant German Shepherd. Her name was Mama. And she was such a sweet girl, and they used to bond over drinking, and they would invite me over. And he had the original Xbox, and the first Xbox game I ever played was Jet Set Radio Future.
Oh,
And
I love to hear that.
I love Jet Set Radio Future so much. It blew my mind uh, because I've never seen a game so stylized and colorized. Because another thing, too, is I only knew one person, exactly one person, who had a Dreamcast. And
Mhm.
I don't even remember their names because they were just some neighborhood kids in our apartment complex. And pretty much after I played one game on the Dreamcast, they were gone like 3 weeks later.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Oh
that was
man, yeah. With the original Xbox, Jet Set Radio is. I mean, that's my core memory right there. That was. I think it's the same reason. I mean, Borderlands 2 is my favorite game of all time, and I think a lot of it has to do with just that art style, that poppy colors.
hmm
Yeah, that was a good time.
yeah, I'm a big fan of more of the stylized artworks in that. Like I know like you are a big fan of Death Stranding and you like that too, but I'm more
Mhm.
of a Suda 51 guy over Kojima because I
Yeah.
really love his art styles from Killer 7, Killer is Dead, Romeo must I think Romeo is Dead is the new game that's coming out soon, which looks amazing, by the way. So you guys should check that out if you haven't seen it already. But all those other fun games out there that just have that stylized artwork really always gravitated me more. I'm more of a Tim Burton esque person. I love all
Mm.
the claymations. I love the dark, twisted weirdness more so than anything else. And Jet Set Radio kind of covered that a little bit too with that wacky Japanese like aura to it. On top of that too, one of the best soundtracks of all time. In fact, a
Oh,
soundtrack
so
I
good.
still listen to this very day.
Oh yeah. I mean, just that whole. It was such a 2000s game, but in the best ways.
Yeah, exactly. It reminded me a lot of the good memories of like shows, movies like The Matrix and like Cable Guy and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And just like really hit that tone. And I'm happy that it's eventually coming back. Hopefully, it keeps a lot of that fine charm. And also, Mr. Tyler, have you played Bomb Funk Cyber Rush?
No, it is on my wish list, and every time, man, I'm waiting for the perfect sale, and I might just have to pull the trigger on it. I see it all the time, and I'm tempted.
If you want a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, that is the closest you're going to get, especially because they actually had the original sound designer work on that game as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, Hideki. I can't remember his last name. I think it's Hideki though. He was bragging about it, and yeah, he did the entire soundtrack for that one as well.
I guess maybe it's time to pull the trigger.
Yes, yes, especially because Black Friday's around the corner. Right, it's holiday time. We're gonna
Oh yeah, it's money spending time.
exactly. Uh, I just got a gift card actually from VGP, which is a video game seller up in Canada, which always has like good sales. And they messaged me and said like we aren't sure we're gonna get the what was it Shinobi game. They're having some issues securing the Shinobi copies, and
Hmm.
that game came out a long time ago. So I asked them, I was like, so where's my game? And they're like, oh, we are sorry. Do you want to wait or do you want to cancel it? I'm like, yeah, you might as well cancel it. And they're like, well, we can't give you a refund, but we can give you a gift card because it's been too long.
Uh,
And I almost bought the Mafia game, Old Country.
oh yeah, I haven't played that one.
I haven't played that one yet either. and I heard good things about it, and I almost bought it, and then I just was like, well, Black Friday's almost here, so I'm just gonna hold it and wait.
Oh, that'll be
And
a Black Friday game for sure.
exactly. And we got Mr. Insidious Bliss joining us saying, what's up? What's up to you, Bliss? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get this documentary started. And over here. I hate... Oh, not this one. That is not the correct one. Here it is. Oh, all right. Full screen it. And let us begin this adventure together.
This is the story of a group of friends.
I took it to my friend Kevin at like 2 a.m. I called him up at home. He's like, oh, what's going on? I said, God, you know, we gotta make a game console.
Of course, Seamus walks in with this whole plan. Boom, here's the Xbox plan. So it's like, great.
Boy, I remember thinking, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Who took on the leader in a billion-dollar industry.
So he's sitting in a room with Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, and Steve Ballmer is saying, wow, we better get this right, otherwise it could potentially really screw up the industry.
Have you ever seen the famous meme about Steve Ballmer, by any chance?
Mm-mm.
I gotta find it real quick. Just show you this. This guy, here it is. He's like a very high character kind of personality.
Okay.
I think actually he owns a basketball team now, if I recall correctly, right? I think he owns the Clippers. Let me double check this here for everyone out there.
Oh man, that Duke though.
Yeah, he is owner of the Los Angeles Clippers right now. So if you want to know how much money Steve Ballmer made working at Microsoft, this guy actually is
He's
a
doing all right.
big multi-billionaire. But this is the famous real quick over here, the very famous Steve Ballmer meme that probably you or some other people may have seen already. But for those who haven't,
Developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers.
look at how much sweat is on him.
That is
That is just some over the top hardcoreness. But yeah, that's Steve Ballmer for people out there, famous internet meme, owner of the Clippers, ladies and gentlemen.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, this fucking controller blew my mind because
It's wild.
it is so huge, and we always joke about this too. Like, obviously, the Xbox has not done well in Japan, and it's just like, look at the size of this fucking controller, right? It was it was even huge for children here, right? So, what did you think it was going to do in Japan, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, even before we started this, I kind of mentioned I didn't love the original Halo, and it really could have been this controller. Like, I was a kid at the time, so my little hands, there's no way I was reaching some of these buttons.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like, even now, I kind of like the concept of this controller. I know that Microsoft actually teamed up with Hyperkin. I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
Yeah, did you see the Cortana Duke?
No, I haven't seen the Cortana one. I saw that they redid the Duke, and you can buy it now.
Yeah, so they actually did a purple Duke Hyperkin like this, and the inside logo is a little hologram Cortana.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I want to buy that. I think it's like $200 now.
For
Xbox
nostalgia,
is the sexiest thing any Microsoft employee had ever heard of ever at the company. They all wanted to work on it.
This is it. We're not looking back.
I'm waiting for my Xbox.
This is the remarkable story of the Xbox.
That memory's right here with this little logo and everything else like that.
Oh man, just G4 in general. Miss it. I know it came back and left again, but
Yeah, well, it's at the same time, it's like they didn't have the soul to bring it back. That's just
No.
the problem. And I've been saying this so much on some of these other shows. Is like, I would love to see people kind of like reinvent like this Icons brands and sit down with some of these game devs all over again, because it's hard to find, a lot of these like well-made documentaries that show all these details and stuff. Like you can find interviews of the devs online, but you can't really find necessarily like something like these anymore. Like No Clip, I always say before, No Clip is like the closest we could get, but they take forever to make, new documentaries, and like it's very sparse. As this is like they're short enough for you to get like the good hits and spark notes, but there's just also enough information out there for you to go and look on more.
The Xbox begins with the driving force behind it, Seamus Blackley. Seamus grows up in New Mexico and early on develops an interest in the world of gaming.
I can remember very distinctly the feeling of playing my Atari 2600 and not really wanting to finish the games or to play them so much, but really wanting to take that excitement that I felt and like write my own games. And when I got my Apple, my mom likes to tell a story. When they gave me the Apple II for Christmas, I stayed up for 72 hours straight. The moment they gave it to me, it was plugged into the TV, and I actually fell asleep like on it the first night because I was so desperate to write a game.
Despite his love...
It's funny, him and Todd Howard have kind of like a similar story like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Todd Howard, when he did an interview with Lex Freeman, he would talk about how he would spend all his time on, I think, one of his Apple IIs or stuff like that, and just make Indiana Jones games.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, this guy's like a rock star in the Xbox world.
Oh, yeah.
This story is so cool.
For games, his career steers him into another direction.
I was working as a physicist, and I was doing high energy physics. And there was this giant particle accelerator that was going to be built in Texas called the Superconducting Super Collider in Waxahachie, Texas. And that was my future, and everybody else's future who was doing experimental high energy physics in the U.S. at that time. That was what it was about for the most part.
And then he made the Xbox.
Yeah. He was super scientist, and he went to Xbox.
He was like, I don't want to learn about the mysteries of the galaxy. I just want to make video games.
I want to go back to playing my Atari.
It's kind of funny. Like, we did another documentary off of BioWare, actually. And the two people who founded BioWare were just doctors, actually. They were both medical students who became doctors that just wanted to make video games, too. It's kind of funny how like, what you're learning about the gaming industry is just a lot of people are just giant nerds who are super smart, but they're like, yeah, I could, do a heart transplant. I could diagnose diseases. I could work, astrophysics and stuff like that. But really, all I want to do is make like some fun video games.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
And it got canceled. Got canceled by Congress.
With no job on the horizon, Seamus applies for a job posting on campus.
It was Looking Glass Technologies. They needed somebody to rewrite a car physics model for a car and driver game they were working on. And so I went over there and met all the guys working on Ultima Underworld and met Ned Lerner, who was an idol of mine from Chuck Yeager's Flight Simulator in days past. And started...
Yeah, Looking Glass is actually a big part of the gaming industry early days, too.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. I gotta find a documentary about them one day, because they were pivotal in a lot of games as how they were designed then to now.
Working on car physics, and that grew into the physics system in System Shock and AI stuff, and Flight Unlimited and Underworld 2 and all that stuff.
But new management flies into a completely different direction.
So, these game guys, we're going to bring in a professional management team. And at the time I was saying, look, we need to do combat version of Flight Unlimited. I really want to do that. And the management decided that instead they wanted to compete with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I started looking for a job, and I eventually got recruited to go work at DreamWorks.
At DreamWorks, Seamus goes to work on a game based on the smash hit movie Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg. The future looks bright for Seamus.
Oh, the Trespasser?
This game.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know he worked out this game. What?
It should be buried and never brought back.
Oh, this game is great. For everyone who doesn't know, it's literally just a pair of boobs and an arm. That was the character model. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
there's
know
not
that.
much more to say. Shoot some dinosaurs and.
I like how they just quickly brush over this game. They don't even call you by its name. That's how embarrassed they were. Oh my goodness, no! But this is funny. This is one of the funnier parts about gaming history. I've said this before on the show, but I don't know if I mentioned this recently. But Brian Fargo, famous video game dev, helped with the Fallout series, Wasteland, In Exile's studio head. I was watching, ironically enough, a Video Game Nerd episode, and I think it was either RoboCop or Terminator. I think it was Terminator, though. And the character can go into a movie theater, and in the movie theater, it's showing credits of all the devs who worked on it. And one of the names caught me off guard was Brian Fargo's name. And I took a picture of it and I tweeted it at him. I was like, "Is this you? Did you work on this game?" And he's like, "Guilty as charged."
That's awesome.
So, like, yeah, you never know what kind of piles of shit a lot of these devs worked on before they became who they are.
They had to come from somewhere, Flight
Exactly.
simulator to this,
Exactly. Some would say a step up.
There are storm clouds on the horizon.
So there, I did a bunch of stuff, culminating in working on Trespasser.
Pack hunter, quite vicious and quite intelligent.
Screwed that up pretty well, and didn't do a lot of things that I know I would I want to do today.
I can do this.
Trespasser is released in 1998, and its flaws are obvious. Critics and fans are disappointed, and Seamus loses faith in himself.
8 left.
After Trespasser, I got death threats.
Heavier than I thought.
no.
There was a huge backlash. It was the very dawn of fan sites on the internet. It was the dawn of the sort of culture of first-person shooters, and everybody expected it to be a shooter.
7, 6.
I mean, first of all, they expected it to be finished, which it wasn't. But they expected it to be a shooter, and it wasn't. It was really different. So people were really pissed off. I mean, people really hated that game. I mean, there were some people who really loved it, and there were a lot of people who just hated it, and just, I figured that my career was over. It really did. It was incredibly.
That would be a good assumption. I'm not gonna lie there, Mr. Seamus.
Yeah, it's a miracle they made it out.
That is They sent him death threats. Why would you send him death threats?
Oh, man,
Why?
the internet's.
Yeah, the internet is a wild place, and it still was wild even back then. It just goes to show you.
Painful time.
And a turning point. Seamus decides to make a change and heads north.
And I thought I'd just go hide at Microsoft for a while. I chose a program manager job in the graphics division because I just wanted to get away from games.
But he's not able to resist games for long. In 1999, Sony announces the release of their newest console, the PlayStation 2.
Great
and
console.
enterprising Seamus has an idea.
Well, there were rumors of Sony, releasing this new version of the PlayStation.
So I got a question before we continue on with the Xbox stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever own a PlayStation 2 or
Yep.
play any of the stuff? Okay, cool. What are
Yeah,
some of your favorite things about the PlayStation? Since this is an Xbox episode, so we might as well talk about PlayStation, right?
Oh yeah, we might as well. I mean, the boot up screen. No, I mean, the Metal Gear was probably the biggest game I played on there. I mean, everyone played it, but my brother had the PlayStation and I had the Xbox, and it was kind of, we thought we were slick. Hey, you asked for this, I'll ask for this. We'll have the best of all the worlds. So that's always how we did it. We did the same thing we tried to do the same thing with the 360 and PS3. Didn't work as well. But the PS2, I mean, I had a friend who had it growing up and I didn't. And then eventually, I mean, we would go to his house and play Tekken, was always a go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, we bought it when it was the incredibly slim one that was like the size of the disk drive.
Oh yeah.
That's the one we had. So I mean, we had it really late. But you know what? My biggest memory, actually, the most played game is not Metal Gear. It is SOCOM. Me and my brother played the mess out of SOCOM 2 and 3, and that actually had online. SOCOM 3 did.
Yeah, I remember my favorite PlayStation 2 memories were always like more so like Sly Cooper and stuff like that. I like the platformer. Obviously GTA San Andreas, because that's originally launched only on the PlayStation 2. Mm-hmm. Just play hours and hours of chaos with my friends and that, It's just It was just so fun. Like,
Yeah,
see
I
how
was at GTA 3 was the one we had.
GTA 3 was really game changing to me as a kid, especially because I played the original GTA 2, the one that had the top down view of the city and that.
Yeah.
So to go
Mhm.
from that to GTA 3, it was like, whoa. You
Oh yeah,
know?
I think every kid just sat and I don't know if as a kid I ever did one single mission. It was just drive around, cause chaos.
Pick up hookers, run them over, get your
Yeah, it was
money
just
back.
sandbox, everything. Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, we're 9 years old playing this game,
Exactly. Mr. Nerd Takes joining us. What up, Jay? He says, what's up, everybody? He says, mine is Def Jam Fight for New York. Fight for New York was the shit. I always tell people that is a game everyone should play. Probably one of the best wrestling games of all time.
Yes, that was a great game. Was
no,
that the one that had Ludacris in it?
I think so, yeah. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head because it's been forever. I know Snoop Dogg was the villain, though.
Yeah.
And the,
2000s were wild in video games.
Look, I fucking love Def Jam
No,
Vendetta.
it's awesome.
I love it so much. It was so great. My sister, she's 10 years older than me. So she was like more into like all that rap music and stuff too, because she was a child of the 90s and the early 2000s, obviously. So like for her, she would drive me to school, and she'd be always listening to like all the rappers and stuff like that. You know, Method Man, Redman, Ludacris, everything else like that. Kind of helped make me so eclectic into music was because of all the music she used to listen to. I always joke with her that she has the soul of a fat black woman, and she gets mad when I say that all the time. But it's true.
Yeah, I remember I had an Eminem CD that was hidden in my underwear drawer as a child. I just couldn't let the parents. We had GTA, but they could not know about that CD.
That's funny. Well, I also think too, like I said, my mom, she had 3 kids, and my brother is 20 years older than me. My sister's 10 years older than me. So I think after a while, because she was always working so much, I was kind of raised by like my sister too sometimes. So it's like she couldn't control the insanity I faced every day with her. But yeah, Def Jam Fight for New York, such a great game. The first one did not go to Xbox, but Fight for New York is on Xbox. I know that because I own it.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Sorry, the PS2. I'm just remembering as I'm looking at this image. You could like turn that little emblem, so if you stood it up, just little nuances like that were pretty cool.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of fun stuff to do with like all these consoles too. They were closed systems, but you couldn't like mod them to do so much with like internal storage drives and stuff like that. Even the Xbox, one of the biggest things too that made the Xbox so amazing was you could download your CDs into them
and then listen to them while you played certain games.
Yeah, that was the best. I have fond memories of the original Xbox. I don't know. Did you ever play Counter-Strike?
No, I hate Counter-Strike, if I'm being honest with you, but go ahead.
Okay. But my buddy was obsessed with Counter-Strike. And I know that he could play the music to his CDs while he played Counter-Strike. And I just have these memories of watching basically my own YouTube montages of him playing Counter-Strike, listening to no, not 50 Cent. DMX.
Nice.
This guy who's playing DMX while he's playing Counter-Strike, and I was like, "What? This is
awesome."
This got me off guard. All right, let's keep
going. Man, what did you go ahead? What did you have ripped on your Xbox? What CDs did you have on there? If you can remember.
I know one of them was a Breaking Benjamin CD because of the Halo 2.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
So I remember as a kid reading the Halo books, and I just have Breaking Benjamin playing on my TV. A lot of burn CDs though. LimeWire was the shit as a kid, so I'd steal all my music from LimeWire, burn them onto CDs, and then I'd put them on my Xbox, and then just kind of keep it that way. So it's just like a whole bunch of like random like CDs, like the early 2000s version of a mixtape. There you go.
Yep. Man, good times.
That was going to kill PC graphics outright. And, I've been doing 3D for a long time, and 3D on the PC is unstoppable. I mean, it's just continuously innovating, continuously feeding back on itself, continuously progressing. And it just seemed ludicrous to me. It became clear to me that you know, very few companies in the world could do something as bold as take on Sony, and Microsoft was one of them. But it became incredibly clear to the other guys that I talked to about it that we had an opportunity to make a game console which had the business potential of a game console, but had the tool support and the power for artists of the PC and of the sort of traditional offline rendering community. And that was really the spark.
And at 35,000 feet in the air, Seamus is inspired.
So, you know, one night, you know, for whatever reason, I was sitting on an airplane and you know, I got hit by cosmic radiation. And I wrote this thing up and I took it to my friend Kevin at like 2 a.m. after I landed. I called him up at home. He's like, I said, you know, we got to make a game console.
Kevin Bacchus, a project manager at DirectX, sees the potential.
Initially, there were really 4 of us working on Xbox. Seamus, myself, Otto Burkus, who ran the graphics development for DirectX, and Ted Hasse, who was my boss.
I have no idea who any of these people are besides for Seamus. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah. Yep. Nah, I don't know who this guy is.
They kind of just all were there for a big thing, and then they quickly faded into the background to be forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, even Seamus, he's more to the forefront, but he kind of keeps quiet.
Yeah, he pops up every now and then with like fun facts about the Xbox and stuff, or you know, criticisms. But beyond that, yeah, he gets mentioned more so as like the guy with like every interview you hear is like Seamus. If you are an Xbox fan that loves the history and lore of it, everyone knows who Seamus Blackley is. But could you tell me who any of these guys were after today? Probably not. I will probably forget about them even after today. I'm just going to be honest. But they have like such weird names like Seamus Blackley, Kevin Bacchus, and I even forgot the other 2 you said. But they're very strong names, very Greek and sounding names.
Yeah.
Who was in charge of evangelism for DirectX. We obviously went and talked to Ed Freeze extensively about what his thoughts would be.
That is Ed Freeze. This is a photo right here. This is a meme right here.
Everyone clip it.
Everyone should clip this. Oh my god. This is Bad Luck Brian 2.0. This right. Oh my goodness. No offense, buddy, but the low resolution does not do you any favors here. But this is
and in charge of the games division at Microsoft is immediately impressed.
Photo day, cool.
They approached me and said, "Hey, if we made this console, would you support us? Would you help us get it through upper management, and would you help make the games for us?" They're pretty persuasive. They had a plan that I thought was pretty exciting.
The group embarks on a crusade to bring the console to the masses.
This is like a making of killer documentary right here. Like this is like the cold case files. What do these people all have in common? These 3 men went out for a fucking camping trip and winded up dead. This is like the cold case file photos they would use.
Oh man.
No takes over here. It says 90 glam photo here.
Yeah. For real.
Oh, that's great.
We had day jobs. We had stuff we were supposed to be doing, right? And we just weren't doing it, right? We were inviting ourselves to meetings. And we thought, God, you know, if they're making a device for the home, it has to be Xbox. It has to be this thing we're thinking of, which at the time we were calling the Direct Xbox, which is how it got the name Xbox.
The group pushes the idea up through the ranks at Microsoft, eventually reaching the top. Mr. Bill Gates.
The first time that we talked to Bill Gates about Xbox, I think he was immediately very taken by the opportunity, by the chance to create something that was technologically superior to anything that was out there. And
all right, hold on a second.
Bill got it right away. I mean, Bill's a very sharp guy.
Mr. Bill Gates.
The first time that we talked to Bill Gates about Xbox, I think he was immediately very taken by the opportunity, by the chance to create something that was technologically superior.
Now that looks cool.
That does look cool.
That looks really damn cool. I wish somebody could 3D print a shell for an Xbox original one, because this looks damn cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like that concept.
You know how they've been bringing back all these old, like you can buy the little Super Nintendo and they put just ROMs on it, pretty much.
Yeah.
They should bring back the Xbox and make it like this. This looks sweet.
Yeah, I would buy this. You know, this would be nice. I got a question now, because I am a limited edition console collector personally myself. you only had the original black Xbox, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Did you ever want any of the other limited edition Xboxes that you ever saw, like the Halo one or the
Oh,
Mountain
I mean,
Dew
yeah,
one?
the Halo one was so cool. Like the translucent green, especially being like a 64 kid with
Yeah.
those translucent purple controllers, and yeah, that green Xbox was nice.
I love I got the Halo edition Xbox, but there is one Xbox I wish I could get my hands on. It was in Japan only, and it was the Panzer Dragoon limited edition Xbox. And that thing is super expensive. Let me see if I can find it.
I think isn't there a Japan only 64, like an orange one?
I think that was for Pokemon. I think that was for Pokemon Stadium, actually. But
yeah, I've seen that. That 64 is sweet too.
Or Hey You Pikachu. I think it was like for one of those ones. But yeah, just to put this into perspective, this is what it looked like over here.
Oh, that looks crazy. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's got like the little purple Panzer Dragoon symbols and stuff like that. But you know, if we look at the price here, $2,600 for a complete in-box copy. $1,000 for loose, and then for brand new, we're approaching like $7,000.
Oh man!
But this is like eventually, if I go to Japan and my wife wants to leave me there after I buy this, I don't blame her. And then, yeah, that's like pretty cool. Nerd Take says, I still want the Pikachu N64. I see that all the time when I go out retro hunting, especially at the video game store conventions I go to. It's a very popular item. They're not super expensive, like relatively speaking. Like to this, I think like they're like a couple $100 to like 400 max. I've seen with like the box and everything. But generally speaking, it's not that crazy expensive compared to other consoles I've had to deal with. Ooh, excuse me. All right, let's get back to it.
Anything that was out there and really focused on a single task.
Bill got it right away. I mean, Bill's a very sharp guy.
So he became one of our biggest allies from the beginning.
It was just awesome. It was the most awesome sort of, support ever. And they just kept on pushing it.
Bill Gates sends a memo endorsing the Xbox project. For Seamus, Kevin, and Ed, the moment of truth finally arrives.
Wow, we better get this right, otherwise it could potentially really screw up the industry.
By 1999, the Xbox is a legitimate project. Software giant Microsoft assembles a team to oversee key elements of the Xbox production.
Jay Allard came on board to run the development efforts to create the operating system for the device, all the development tools, that sort of thing. And he brought on board a number of people in key positions to kind of round out that group.
It was still just an internal project at Microsoft that wasn't something that had been officially announced. It was still very much under wraps because they themselves weren't sure they were going to do it. But the very fact that Microsoft was considering coming into the games console market was a big deal.
It could potentially be a bad thing.
I feel like I've heard Tom Russo's name before. I think he's still around in the industry.
Yeah. I don't know, but the name does ring a bell.
Like I said, it sounds familiar. He was the program director, it said, at G4, so it wouldn't shock me if he's still around. I feel like I've heard that name before, but maybe there could be other Russos I'm confusing with.
If Microsoft decides they're going to launch like basically a home PC, branded a game console and put a bunch of PC games on it or something like that, which to those guys who are very smart guys at Microsoft but don't have a lot of context in the game business could well have happened. And so we felt a lot of responsibility to be sure that wouldn't happen.
And the response from the gaming community is encouraging.
When we went out to publishers and developers is that we've been kind of secretly meeting with all these guys for months and months and months, refining the idea. What do you guys think about this? Oh, that's a crazy idea. What do you think about that? Oh, that's great.
As push comes to shove, Gates makes a historical decision.
It was a meeting where Valentine's Day was a month before GDC, and it was a point at which we're going to announce it at GDC or we're going to cancel this project because we're not going to be ready in time.
It was just the final time. It's like, look, you have to say go or no go now.
Starting up a console and spending billions of dollars to enter a new market is a difficult undertaking for any company.
This was the original concept. Is that what the fuck is this?
That is, I mean, we thought the Duke was bad. That is crazy.
This reminds me of like the PS3 Batarang controller.
Yeah, and the console itself looks like a Dreamcast, like
I don't know what this is supposed to
controller
be.
almost.
Looks
Or
like a
not
waffle
the-
maker.
Doesn't-
That's what it looks like. It looks like a waffle maker. This is the button to open it up and everything. Oh no! It looks like a clam, a fucked up clam. You throw that back in the water.
Gross.
Yeesh. What the hell is the controller design?
Flight stick, monstrosity.
Is it? Did they have like geo controls? Like you could turn this around and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of crazy controllers. You know, I'm a normal guy. Just give me a controller. I don't need all these fancy movements and shit.
Yeah, they made the right call eventually.
Eventually, yeah. It took them a couple tries. If this made the Duke, by the way, you know. So
Yeah.
let's just keep that in mind. This was their first idea, and they even said, "No, this is dog shit."
In a company the size of Microsoft.
So we come into this meeting. It's scheduled to run from 4 to 6 o'clock on Valentine's Day. And Bill is just like immediately on the attack. But what do you mean it won't run Windows? Oh, did we forget to tell you that part?
And you find yourselves sitting in a room with Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, and Steve Ballmer is right here, like, you know, the sweat's in his forehead saying, you know, you're gonna lose all our money!
We all have dinner reservations, and we're in big trouble because it's Valentine's Day and we're not home and the time is going by. And then in the last 5 minutes, the meeting just like turned around like 180 degrees. And you know, I don't know if Bill and Steve had this planned the whole time. And all of a sudden, they're all looking around at each other. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. You know, they're all getting excited, which is fun to be part of.
In March of 2000, Bill Gates stands on stage at the Game Developers Conference and announces what many had already suspected.
I'm announcing the Xbox. The modest tagline here is
I love that like little mock-up drawing still to this very day. It's such a
I'm announcing
crazy
the
looking
Xbox.
prototype that they threw out there.
Oh yeah, I mean you
That
can't
look-
put any components in that sucker, but it does look cool.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's like where does everything else go? I wonder who
Under the
owns
table?
this. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder who owns this, you know? Like who kept this? Someone had to have kept this little thing.
They gave it to The Rock.
Oh, they give it to The Rock, really?
No. It wouldn't surprise me though.
Yeah, I want to know. I know it's probably out there. I know they made a bunch of mini ones and they gave to influencers and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to know who kept it. Who kept it? And if it's in the trash, you should be shot for war crimes.
The modest tagline here is the future of console gaming. This is a huge milestone for us.
All they have to do now is accomplish everything they said they could.
Boy, I remember thinking, what have we gotten ourselves into? You know, once the product was finally approved and there were absolutely no other reviews or approvals processes. Once Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer said, look, you know, this is it, we're not looking back. Then the really hard work came in. Every assumption that we had, every plan had to be tested. And it was challenging.
You have this giant company behind you, Microsoft behind you, right? You get Microsoft like going in a direction, you better be sure it's the right direction, right? So we started feeling like, wow, we better get this right, otherwise it could potentially really screw up the industry.
There was a lot of skepticism about, you know, were we really serious about doing this? Was there ever even going to be a console? There was skepticism about whether we would be able to hit our launch date, whether the performance would be what we said it would be, whether it would in fact be easy to program. At every step along the way, there was a constant proving process. We had to show games very early because, you know, we needed to demonstrate what the game was going to be. We had to show that it wasn't a PC.
You know, we built the system for developers. There is nobody out there who wouldn't tell you the NVIDIA chip was the hottest thing in the world. Nobody.
All consoles are essentially computers. There's a processor, there's a graphics chip, there's an audio chip. All the things that you see in a PC are evident in a console, but they're very different. They're very focused on a very specific thing, on gaming.
And sometimes it's not what's on the inside, but the outside that counts.
Yeah.
In January 2001, the public gets its first look at the controller and industrial design of the Xbox.
Of course, we didn't want the Xbox to look uncool. We wanted it to look powerful. We did a lot of design studies.
Now, this is the funny part too. The design of the original Xbox was also one of the big hindrance it had in the Japanese market as well.
Just because it was so big.
It was so big and bulky, and to be honest with you, even if they try to do something like this today, because of so many people living in cities, the big issue is still going to be space for putting all your stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember,
even
like,
though the PS5 exists there.
yeah, exactly. And even still, it's just like the reason why so many people are more towards, like, if you're going to take up the space, you might as well get a PC, a lot of people are saying. Or they've all started gravitating more towards, handheld gaming and stuff like that again, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know mobile gaming's huge over there still, right?
Oh, yeah. The Duke.
One of the things that the enthusiast press was the controller. Some people didn't mind the fact that the original controller, which they called Duke, was bigger. But I think to a lot of the gamers, they just kind of felt that it was just a little too big. And they've subsequently gone with the S-type controller,
the Duchess,
which they developed for Japan, which was definitely a better.
See, they developed it for Japan. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
And they had the memory card slots on the top too.
Yes, and that's where you had to put your Xbox Live mic too. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Oh, that was the greatest. People forget now. Back in the day, talking online was not that easy to do with like the PS2, and it was basically non-existent on the Dreamcast and the obviously GameCube. But there was something so revolutionary about that pack-in like microphone that you just plugged in to, and they always fucking broke. That was like the biggest problem. All of my friends, and myself included, had to duct tape those suckers right back so many times. Did you ever have to do that? I don't know. Did you ever have Xbox?
No,
Live?
I never duct taped it.
Oh, you were lucky then. We had, at least all of us were fucking jerry rigging our headsets to just last because we couldn't get another one from our parents, even though they were like only $20 at the time. But still, it's like $20 at the early 2000s. Your parents still didn't want to spend it. They're like, no, forget that.
Especially on a video game at the time. I mean, now video games are more mainstream, but then it was like, it was very niche.
Yeah, you had to make do. So, like, you were getting your hair caught in your mic, and you would just hear someone go, ow, ow.
I do remember that, actually. You just unlocked a memory.
It's just every time, there's always one person that had the duct tape headset. People forget about that, 100%. And then, like, we got spoiled, especially because the 360, they came out with those really cool Bluetooth ones. It made you look like you were on your phone. Mm-hmm. And that was my favorite one. I had the Halo 3 limited edition one, and that was like my favorite one. And I love doing it because I felt like such a badass. Be like, hold on, I gotta take a leak, guys. You just put it on mute and just go walk to the bathroom. But you always had that. Go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but you always had that one friend that never muted his mic, so you could always hear him taking a piss.
That was me. I still do that to this day. I'll be playing my brother. He's like, "Are you in the?" Yeah.
Yeah, it was right there. I'm just testing out the range, bro. I want to be a part of this conversation still.
Now, what was the game? I want to say it was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, but I feel like I'm wrong. There was a game where you had the mic and you could yell out commands.
I think that might have been one of them.
It was 360, I think, but
I think it was like New Vegas, Mass Effect 3. You could do that actually. You could yell at stuff. As our friend Mr. Nerdy Neo, who will probably comment on this later, will have to say, so I'm going to cut him off in advance. In Skyrim, you could shout like the Fus Rodas and stuff at your.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so you could just go Fus Roda, and your guy would do that. So if
awesome.
So if you want to like make your parents and family think you have Tourette's, that was the best thing to do.
Just doing some shouts.
Just shouting. And if I can come in there and your dad has to smack you in the back of the head. I'm sleeping. Got work at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're almost done. We got about under 9 minutes.
As the launch date approaches, Microsoft's marketing machine shifts into high gear.
Microsoft faced this huge dilemma with how they were going to position themselves in the market. Do we brand it Xbox, but do we have Microsoft on the box? Do we use Bill Gates? Is Bill Gates liked by gamers? Isn't he? So I think they had a huge consumer marketing identity crisis that they sort of needed to address right away.
Anticipation builds on November 12, 2001 in Times Square.
I remember walking across the street from the WWF place over to the Toys R Us to get ready for the midnight thing.
Both those places don't exist anymore.
Oh, ouch.
That's the funny part about it. That is such a throwback. The WWF place to the Toys R Us. Both of them are gone. Especially now it's called the WWE. That's how old this is.
Right.
Bill was there and a couple other people, and Xbox is just everywhere. Up on the lights, every billboard in Times Square, all the big electronic signs, and there's Xbox here, Xbox there, and it was just, I don't know, it's one of those kind of surreal moments.
At 12:01 a.m., Bill Gates presents the first Xbox to a customer who had been waiting for hours outside.
Yeah, it's just one of those moments in your life that you're just glad to be part of.
You know what? I really hope that guy had that framed and still has it. Just like the photo.
Oh, you know he didn't. He ripped that box wide open and.
I would have made that my life's mission to get Bill Gates and other people to sign that. You know.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I mean, that's historic. Like, if you were even like the first person to get like any console officially or anything like that, that would be wild.
Yeah, I miss midnight launches watching that.
Yeah, I always love midnight watches, but you and I are from the Midwest. You know some of them sucked, especially the winter ones. All right.
Oh yeah, I went to one recently for the Switch 2.
Yeah, that was better though because it was summer at least, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I do agree with you. Like it was kind of nice to just also I had the pre-order. So like they had like what I like to call the pleb line and then the like elite line because it was all those people who had the pre-orders versus the people who were like waiting to get one.
Yep, and just in case if they even have any left.
Yeah, so I thought that was fun. Yeah, ironically enough, my Switch 2 midnight launch was crashed by one of these Zoomers that was trying to like do like the video thing of like trying to get attacked or something, like trying to crash a midnight launch. I was like, that's kind of cringe, but I was like, oh, you know, the guy is like, you know, what, 18, 19. I'm like, I don't blame him necessarily because like I've done a bunch of dumb shit as a kid. So I can't really blame him, but it's just like, come on, man. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to do stuff here. Why do you gotta be this way? And then we got Mr. Cage. Oh, sorry, Mr. Cage saying morning stream. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Cage?
Yeah, no, we went to the Switch 2 because I was, you know, obviously the midnight launches are dying because of all the digital stuff. But I was like, I got to take my kids once, and so that's why we did that Switch 2. It was pretty cool. They didn't think it was nearly as cool. I realized how much nostalgia was built into it.
Spoiled kids. There you go. You don't understand.
Yeah.
You had to go off on them and be like, listen, you don't understand. I never got to do this as much as a kid. This was awesome for us. And over here, you're just disrespecting it.
Just take the Switch 2 and smash it in front of them. Never mind.
Yeah, you just got to hammer it home to like our parents. There are starving kids in Africa and you're complaining about getting a Switch 2? How dare you? You know, but yeah, I never got to do like a console midnight launch. The closest I ever did was for my Series X. I went to Best Buy, and it was during COVID, so obviously everyone's kind of like a little weird about that. But for me, I thought it was interesting though because they didn't do a midnight, but they did like a 3 a.m. launch. So like I'd have to get there at like 3 a.m. and then they'd open the store at 4 a.m. and then they let everyone get their Xboxes.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that was weird.
That is weird.
But like, yeah, I grew up poor, so like the first console I ever actually did like a midnight launch for was the Halo Reach midnight launch for that. Because I had the original iPod Xbox 360.
Okay.
And I really fell in love with everything they were showing about this 360, the slim version. You press it, it makes the sound of like the shields powering on and powering off and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a buddy at that Reach one. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I still have mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I still have my original one, and I still love that thing to death. But that was the first time I ever went to a midnight launch for a console. but not a new console like in that aspect. But that
Yeah.
I do miss a little bit of those. I always say this: midnight launches for me were just different. Like our friend, the show, Mr. Extra Zero, he always goes like, "Yeah, I used to go there and make friends, and we exchange tags and do all this fun stuff." And I'm like, yeah, I had the complete opposite thing. It was like me and my friends would just gather around and just talk shit about everyone else around us, waiting for our stuff.
Yeah, I was more your camp. I mean, I didn't go to make friends, but yeah, we would go and I'd go with a group of buddies. And I think maybe that's what it is. It's that nostalgia. But it was cool to be able to all go, and then it will, even depending on what game you're playing, what you're doing, go to someone's house and have like a LAN party. I don't know if you did any of that stuff, but those are
we
good
never
times.
really did LAN parties too much because I was just a little bit younger when that happened, and we basically were all connected to Xbox Live at that point. So we would just meet up at like our central location GameStop, because most of the time I went to GameStop with was my buddy Kenny, my cousin Andy, and myself, and maybe like a few other tag-alongs depending on the game or what series we were playing.
Yeah.
And we'd all just meet up there. We would stop for like maybe a Chili's dinner or something, just like talk about what we're excited for, go into the GameStop, finalize our receipts, get our number in line. And then, depending on what time of year it was, like we just stand outside, shooting the breeze. Or, we do the relay team of like, oh damn, okay, you hold a spot in line for like 20 minutes because it's like
It's so cold.
-20 outside, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we had LAN parties out of necessity because the guy growing up, the kid's house we always went to, he kind of lived out in the boonies, so he just didn't have internet. We did it all the way through. The game that I did that most with was Gears of War.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we would get a bunch of 360s and we'd bring monitors, and yeah, we did a LAN thing at his house just because he simply didn't have internet. But it was yeah, those are like core memories. That was cool.
That was fun. The only funny LAN party I ever did for was not for a multiplayer game, but was for Mass Effect.
I can understand it though.
It was so weird. All right, so my cousin Andy had a friend and he had two friends, I should say. And I remember one weekend, like me and my cousin Andy loved Mass Effect, so we would play it religiously, constantly. Like Mass Effect is like my favorite video game franchise of all time. I can tell you all the deep lore and everything else like that about it, down to a T, read all the books, blah, 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 bullshit. But I remember one time he said like, hey, well, you want to come over and play Mass Effect? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll bring my Xbox. And then he was like, oh, we're going to hang out with my other buddy. And I'm like, okay. So we went over to his friend's house. It was just the three of us, and we took over this living room, and we're just playing Mass Effect. And the funny part was nobody like lived at that house that were there. It was another friend's house of theirs, and he was at college.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, wait, what are we doing? What's going on
Yeah,
here? So,
that's a little strange.
It was the weirdest thing ever. I guess his one friend was kind of more of a latchkey kid, and like he was like their unofficial third son of this house. So so we all went over there, and they were totally cool with it, and they gave us like dinner, and we were just playing Mass Effect till like 3 a.m. at this house where nobody lived and had no relationship. Awesome. And I'm just like, what is going on here? This is so surreal to me. But I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm playing Mass Effect. So
bring them back, man. Bring them back.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the weirdest LAN party I ever had.
But Seamus has other things to worry about.
Well, I was super nervous because I was going to propose to my wife that night. That was the thing I was really nervous about. And I had arranged for Bill Gates to hold my engagement ring, right? So he had my engagement ring in pocket. And Bill had called me that afternoon and said, what if she says no? Do you have a backup plan in case she says no? And so I'm thinking, God, is she gonna say no? Because I had no doubts up until that moment. I was like, oh no, she'll probably say yes. It'll all be okay.
All right, so you're a married man too. What? How did you think about that? Were you confident, like, and everything else like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, at that point in our relationship, I was pretty solid. We don't, you talk about things like that, and so, but yeah, no doubts.
Yeah, because my wife started giving me the hint
Yeah.
Like I just remember we were like randomly driving around. She's like, "If you ask me to marry you, I'll say yes." I'm just saying. And I took that as like the big like, "Hey, hint, hint." I want to get married. I was like, "All right, all right." I did you do anything fun for your proposal?
We have this little town, like this little German town, and she always wanted to go up there, and they do these like horse-drawn carriage rides, and it was the middle of winter, and so I
Okay.
was like, we're gonna do it there. I'm gonna help her off the carriage, and that the whole not normal, but it was pretty cliche. Well, we get there, and it's like -20, and she's like, I don't want to do a horse-drawn. It's too cold.
I don't blame her.
And so at the time I lived with a friend, and so I called him, and he came up, and we met like in a bathroom. I gave him the ring, and he went home, and I was like, look, here's her house key. And so he went home, and he actually decorated. He got a tree out. He decorated her whole house for Christmas. It was in December, and then he put the ring under the tree. That is the most clutch friend you could ever have.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Because she completely bailed on me. I was like, I had this whole plan, and she completely off-railed it. But yeah, so our proposal story was a little bit different because it was a pivot, but it worked out. She did say yes.
Mine was like more lame. I was going to propose in this restaurant, and then all these kids are like running nuts in this restaurant, and it would just kind of ruin the mood. So I just said like, "Well, I'm here. I'm just going to propose in the parking lot,"
Hey, she said she was ready. She told you.
Yeah, exactly. She gave me. I was like, "Will you marry me?" She's like, "For reals?" she didn't even say yes or anything. She just was like, "Well, for real, really?"
You start sweating.
It was like, I'm like, "What? Is that a yes?" And she's like, "Yeah." So yeah, that sounds much better though, to have that clutch friend come in. He's like, "I got you, bro." That's a real homie right there.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Was he the best man at least for that? Come on,
He was.
Yeah. There you go. I was gonna say, you know how fucked that would be. It's like you're not even invited to the wedding, bro.
Yeah, nah. We live together. Nah, you're out.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. Frankly, compared to that, the launch of the Xbox is almost anticlimactic. For me, the launch was all about getting on my knee and, having the most fabulous woman on earth say she'd marry me.
Look at this smoke. Look, I'm on fire. With a successful console launch and an engagement, Blackley has achieved everything he has hoped for. But the fate of the Xbox is far from certain.
This is an Xbox! It's number one! Success.
With the Xbox successfully launched in time for Christmas 2001, the future of the system now lies in the hands of the developers.
Well, I think the number one thing that we wanted to achieve was for people who got an Xbox to just be blown away. That has to be the ultimate goal, right? We talked to the people in line in New York, and they were really excited about Xbox.
The first Christmas, all the hardcore gamers are going to go out and they're going to buy it because they got it. It's new. It's exciting. There's a lot of press about it.
Yep.
They got to see if it really lives up to the hype.
But you don't want to take it home and open it up and have it. And that actually happened with a couple of other console launches, right? People got excited with the technology. You take it home, and of course, technology isn't enough, right? It goes on and makes the boot noise, and then you put in a game that's not so great, and you're like, whoa, they went $300.
Oh, that was awesome.
They have to feel incredibly happy.
How the hell is that guy playing this game? Hold on a second here. Am I tripping? Let's look at this guy.
Oh, that was awesome.
The original claw grip. Oh, what?
Look at this.
No. He's playing it like a mouse and keyboard.
He's playing like it's an arcade stick.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like here. Mouse and keyboard though, that's a good one though. Like what game are you playing here, sir? It looks like you're playing a fighting game. I guess this works, but that's a weird shot right there.
They have to feel incredibly happy about it.
The thing sold out everywhere, and it was just a giant success. The real question on any console is how it does in subsequent years, especially the second Christmas.
That's really important. That's when, to some extent, the real battle happens. Because everybody has a lot of units out there, a lot of consoles, and the generation of games that come out into that installed base appear.
So what happens in the later years is really kind of dependent on the quality of the games. That is something that's, just a very magical and very difficult thing to predict in advance.
And then it's a real creative
Man had that Sintroller. How you doing, Lois? Good to see you, buddy.
contest, right? Then it's not about the specs of the hardware. It's not about how cool your TV campaign is. It's not about any of those things. It's about which games you have and are your fans happy or not. So I would argue the real worker is then.
If you got a great game and it's only available on Xbox and it's the thing that everybody's excited about, then they're going to go out and buy Xboxes.
Microsoft's development team, Bungie, provides the must-have game for the season.
Oh yeah,
Halo was awesome.
We're not gonna make it.
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up!
Played a lot of games in my life.
Now, we both had interesting stories about talking about not liking Halo, so I guess this would be the appropriate time to talk about Halo.
Yeah.
So what was your thing with Halo? I want to hear it.
Yeah, so I had a friend who had the Xbox. I didn't buy it at launch. I bought it a little bit later, but went to his house to play it. And Halo was the game that he had, and he was so pumped, and this is the coolest new thing, and you can co-op campaign. It had all the things, but as soon as I picked up that controller and tried to play it, I couldn't wrap my mind around the two sticks. That was the thing for me. I could not do it. And so now at the time I was young, so 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
And so I just couldn't get past it. And that was the thing for me. And that was all it took. And I was like, nah, I can't. And so I actually I was like, let's just go play GoldenEye. What are we doing? Let's go play some Perfect Dark. And so, yeah, it wasn't until maybe a year or two later when I think it was really Jet Set Radio. I played that and I was like, I want one of these. And then I bought it. And then, of course, eventually you get Halo. And at that point in time, I'd wrapped my mind around it and it worked. And then I did like it. But yeah, originally, two sticks, hated it.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like I said, I watched that commercial and I was like, man, this is not really selling me on this game. But, as I got older and I got my own Xbox and I played Halo, me and my friends just played Halo all the time growing up. Like we would go and do like the meetup, the 4-player, no screen looking. Oh, you're looking at my screen, arguments and fighting, stuff like that. We had like rules that said no pistols because the pistol was so busted.
Yeah.
With the original Halo. Like it outsniped a sniper. We were getting so pissed off at that. It's like, how is this possible?
Yeah, it was Halo 2 where I eventually really was like, okay, this game's cool. And it was my cousin. He came over. I live in Michigan. I was born in Kentucky. But so all my family's in Kentucky and he was visiting. And he was like, that new Halo 2 game just came out. We got to go get it. And I didn't like Halo. So I was like, nah, we don't need to go get it. But eventually, he convinced me it was worth it. We went and picked it up. And then I loved it. It was, the dual SMGs and all that stuff was so cool. But yeah, it definitely took a second try for me. It was Halo 2 that got me into the series.
I don't blame you so much for that because there like me and my friends really made a big thing about it. Like we would just all get together and play Halo. It'd be like the Saturday night hangout, the Friday night after school kind of deal.
Yeah.
On top of that too, I used to go to the Indy 500 a lot. So one year, me and my buddy took our dads took us to the Indy 500, and they had a nice van. Like one of the nice late 90s, early 2000s minivans. Mm-hmm. And they installed a little TV in the back and we hooked up.
Oh, the coolest.
Yes. We hooked up the Halo and we were playing Halo all the way to the Indianapolis 500, eating like fried chicken and stuff like that. It's like one of my favorite memories. It was just going to the Indy 500 campaign, me and my buddy just co-oping through it, and then co-oping the rest of it back on Legendary, just like through a giant thunderstorm and rainstorm that our dads were just driving through, and it's just me and him in the back just playing Halo.
Oh man, that game was so hard on Legendary.
Oh yeah. God damn, dude. But like it was Halo 2's Legendary was worse, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I still have PTSD. I should get fucking government benefits from just how much PTSD I got from that game. But
so you excited about the new one around the corner?
So to be honest with you, with all my Halo stuff, Halo 2 was the first a game I actually worked for as a kid. Like I would cut lawns and do all
yeah.
the chores I could because I got the limited edition steelbook because like
nice.
that was like a big must have for me as a kid. But then Halo 3, 4, 5, you know, I did all the midnight stuff for those and got excited for them. Halo 5 I was disappointed in because I just didn't like the story too much or the gameplay personally. Even though I don't think the gameplay is as terrible now as I did when I first played it. But you know, I really liked Halo Infinite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. The story is kind of wonky, but that's because they made Halo 5 story very wonky too. So I understand. So with the remake coming to PlayStation 5 and everything else like that, I'm interested in playing it only because like you know I try to remind people about this when we talk about gaming and stuff like that. Halo is, you know, 25 years old almost, you know?
Yeah.
Like, here it's going to be 25. There are people right now, you know, just like in the NFL and hockey. Look at those hockey leagues, all right? Those people weren't around when Halo first launched. They didn't know what original Xbox was in that, all right? We're all starting to get old, okay? I hate this.
Right.
I think yesterday one of the NHL facts kind of posted up like Caleb McCanley or something like that, or McElhaney, the Sharks player that they drafted last year. I think they were saying like when he was 7, that's when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out.
That's crazy.
And now he's like going to be 20, and that's when Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. So it's just like put everything into perspective with all this stuff. Like we're just getting old, and you know, with everything that kind of happens. Like when we were kids, like we were watching stuff that was rebooted of like old properties, like He-Man and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
So I always come from it from a perspective of like, look, we all like what we like. And it's okay to like not like new things or how they change stuff and stuff like that. And I'm totally cool with it. But everything that we've kind of liked and loved in culture has been rebooted, or we like the reboot more than like the original. Like case in point, Batman the Animated Series is considered like one of the greatest things of all time. Look at how different that is compared to like the 1920s Batman, you know?
Yeah, right.
So like everything changes, everything evolves, everything adapts to fit a different generation. And I know I'm team I don't like sprint in the Halo games.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I'm mostly team I don't like sprint, but I didn't mind it in like Halo 4, Halo Reach, Halo 5 and Halo Infinite obviously. But I will say this, like Halo Reach, you know, definitely it changed my mind about like some stuff where it's like, man, I don't like this new way of how they play this one. I just wasn't a fan, especially Armor Lock. Armor Lock fucking sucked.
Yeah, yeah. So your team, leave it how it is.
I'm team. I'm an open mind per se, because I'm 34. I think I went through my phases of being a console warrior, being like a purist, being a gatekeeper, being a little bit wacky, and then it's more so like now that I've kind of gotten into just like doing all this like video game talk, and hanging out with people who are like in my gaming sphere. And I just realized like a lot of these people don't play video games. They don't know anything about video games. They kind of get like really down about stuff. And like I noticed it a lot too because I still play video games, like new releases, stuff like that. I'm usually like the day one adapter, or as they like to call it, the pay pig, you know?
No, I do know. I'm the same way.
Yeah, and it's more so like I would just read some of these arguments and I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. So I'm just kind of now more so like I want to just have my own opinion. You know,
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I'll agree with like the negative consensus. Sometimes I will agree with the positive consensus. And it's just like, look, I just want to be honest and fair because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to be depressed all the time. You know?
No. I mean, games are supposed to be, I mean, it's an outlet to it's supposed to be to have fun. So
Exactly.
I mean, to get depressed about it is just nuts, especially when there's so many options. I mean, you can dwell on the game that sucks, or you can move on to the cool game.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just like all these other things. Like I could go back in time. Like I'm a retro gamer too, and I'm surrounded by my wall of virginity, as I like to say. All right, and like I could play a game from 2001, and I could find a lot of fun merits with it. But I can also tell that like, look, this was a different time, and not it sometimes doesn't hold up. Or I can be blown away by a game. It's like, damn, dude, why didn't they continue with this idea? Because they have such cool concepts and fun and stuff like that. Or I'll just switch over to like say a modern day game, and I'll be like, this is like an amazing game. I don't know why people can get upset about this, because it's like I don't know how you could get down on the industry, especially with so many cool games that are coming out, that came out this year and next year. Like there's just so many interesting and fun things to occupy your time. And I just feel like a lot of people online get too caught up in like the 5 negative articles and ignore like the other stuff out there. Like they don't hear what the devs are saying. They don't hear what the creators are saying. They'll like listen to like somebody on YouTube, and they'll either just listen to like all their positive news network and just be in that echo chamber, or all the negative news and just be in that echo chamber. And I feel like as someone like me, this is all from my perspective. I love the art form, the hobby of gaming. I like listening to all these stories about like the dev challenges. I like the inside baseball just as much as I like the actual art that's on the canvas, as they would say,
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, there's just so much cool stuff. Like I'm learning a lot of stuff going back and listening to how they all came to be, how they developed all these games, and like all the problems that the gaming industry had that are nothing new to what we have today. It's just we have new problems now with like, always online microtransactions and stuff like that. But a lot of these issues are still, have been around since day one of gaming. And that's kind of like what I try to do with this show, I guess you could say, stuff like that. I just like to remind people that like, look, we have come a long way from
we for sure have.
And like a lot of these devs, a lot of these people, like a lot of these, icons in gaming, no pun intended, are like out there for people to just like kind of like remember, like, look, these people made your games. These people made your history of like everything you enjoy. Like they are the pillars of this foundation. Like what we're learning about the original Xbox here. It's like this is a reminder like what a new console launch is. And I have other shows I have planned for the future and stuff like that too, but more so for me to get back to the long-winded explanation, I will wait and see how the new Halo game is before I pass judgment on it. Even though they just said that they're ending support for Halo Infinite too just now, like this next update will be their last one.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so they just announced this yesterday. Operation Infinite is the last major update for it.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
And then here we are, Mr. Nerdy USA, Sup Carl and Shelf, very active in your Discord, getting you to make
Oh
improvements
yeah,
yourself.
Nerdy is the best.
Yeah, one of the salt of the earth kind of men out there to have for sure. And Neo, don't worry. I know that you'll rewatch some of this later. I've already taken care of one of the things you're going to probably comment on later, so don't worry. All right, we got about 4 minutes. Let's wrap it.
And this is a game I could just sit and play and have a great time. So I really felt pretty confident that we were going to be able to come out and really surprise people.
Despite fierce competition, Microsoft manages to sell 1.5 million consoles and nearly 5 million Xbox games by Christmas. Developers take advantage of the console's hardware abilities to create distinct and innovative games.
Oh, Panzer Dragoon, I just played that last year for the first time. And on
I've
the
never
Series
played
X, oh my goodness, on the Series X, it looks amazing.
That's just because they did that upscaling stuff.
Yeah, they did a lot of the upscale. It looks awesome. I think I took a picture. I don't know. I still have it, but I think I remember I said on my Twitter, I'm like, I can't believe that this is like a 2001 game.
Yeah. Even looking at this Anthem, all the insane like sports games that were around back then.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, a lot of people forget too. This was during the time when like first party publishers made their own sports games, like 989 with Sony, and then Microsoft did it too with some football stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
wasn't Fever? Was that
Yeah.
Xbox?
Yeah, NFL Fever, NBA Fever, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I actually have those. I want to go back and I was thinking about doing like a fun stream one year, just like replaying some old.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I've just been like so busy and swamped with stuff.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Camera! No. That means turn on the lights, idiot!
I'd have to say that right now my favorite game is a game from Microsoft Studios that just came out called
Kung Fu Chaos!
Oh my goodness! You know, this is so ironic to think about right now too, because this was Ninja Theory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've to be honest with you, don't know what this game is.
Yeah, so this is like a crazy, wacky party game, a little bit like that. But this was actually originally a Ninja Theory game that they helped make. And we come full circle, Microsoft eventually bought Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
So, like, you look at Kung Fu Chaos to Hellblade. This is fun.
It's a fighting game, but it's kind of a party game. And to see that kind of work and craftsmanship going to a game produced for something that kind of we had an idea about, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it's just astounding.
In the fall of 2002, Xbox Live is launched.
We've been cooking this thing up from the get-go. 3 years ago when we conceived of Xbox, we wanted to bring it online. Online gaming is going to be the big...
Yeah, this was one of Ninja Theory's early titles. I'll bring it up for you. Yep. Here's the Wikipedia article for it. Kung Fu Chaos developer was Ninja Theory. So, if you're wondering what this was, early Ninja Theory, this was one of their first big hits, was Kung Fu Chaos. I actually own this game. I haven't played it much myself because, like I said, it's more of a party game than it is like a single player one. But yeah, just to remind everyone, once again, gaming history, they all start somewhere.
I remember my party game was a Shrek party game on the Xbox. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember
it
what it was
fighting
called.
Game?
No, it was like a Fusion Frenzy, but with Shrek.
Oh, that's cool. I think I know what it is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Fun fact: I don't know if you watched this episode, but I don't blame you if you didn't. But last Friday we did one of these episodes of Doom 3, and one of the guys compared the graphics in Doom 3 to Shrek. We lost it.
Next step in video gaming.
And a celebrity event is held.
These are always really fun parties.
Bring it on. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's so exciting and it really improves the hand-eye coordination.
No idea who these people are.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Super fun. Great games.
Realistic.
I feel like I should know that these people are celebrities, but I have no clue who they are. That's how terrible I am as a person. We need my wife to be here to like be over my shoulder. Like, who is this guy? Oh, I don't know. That's Alton Brown. I'm like, oh, I don't even know who Alton Brown is. That's the name I came up with. I think he's a cook. Hold on a second. Sandra, who's Alton Brown? Who's Alton Brown? He's a chef from the Food Network.
Wow.
There you go.
That's impressive that she just pulled that out.
Yeah, you got to keep her around. She knows stuff.
I think that's off the chain.
Yeah, I love this stuff. Gift bag.
In my mind, I connect the dots thinking about Xbox.
What the hell is going on here? Was that Kobe?
Even as the Xbox continues to succeed, preparations are made for a new system.
Go for it! We're deep in planning right now for the next version of Xbox.
Oh, wow.
Is this guy serious?
I actually probably spend more time right now when I'm in the office. I probably spend more time right now on Xbox 2 than I spend on Xbox One, if you can believe that.
Ooh,
how funny is
he called it Xbox 2?
He called it Xbox 2 and Xbox One.
Oh, I didn't even pick up the Xbox One. That's funny.
This is that's so funny now thinking about just that line. It's just like,
oh yeah,
they ditched the naming convention of Xbox Two, and then at the same time they eventually called another Xbox the Xbox One.
It's a crazy.
That is too.
I still have my Xbox One Connect. I saw that in a box the other day.
No kidding.
Bust that guy out.
Oh boy, like I said, this is the funny part about listening to some hindsight stuff here. It's like, could you? They were gonna call it Xbox Two. Now we're gonna call it the 360. But yeah, they were already deep in development, I guess, of the 360 by, excuse me, 2003 when this came out. But that kind of makes sense because the Xbox.
Yeah, because they beat PlayStation to the punch. So
yeah, Xbox 3 is Xbox One.
Yeah.
This is like one of those things you say when you're like really, really like plastered, and it would not make sense if like you didn't know anything you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they named it this way.
Maybe they were plastered and they're like, we're gonna do it.
Part of that is because we got to do it right this time. Right. We want to have enough time to make sure that we're not like just insane at the end. That we have the content portfolio really planned out, and we have the games lined up, and that we have this machine that's not only going to be successful in the US but can be successful everywhere in the world, and that's what's going on.
Although Kevin and Seamus have left to start their own development company, just taking a look back is sometimes the greatest reward.
It was a mixture because on the one hand, it was really, really hard. But on the other hand, it was probably the best time I've ever had in my life because we were out doing what we wanted to do. Very few times do you get the opportunity to actually see kind of your, a dream that you had come together, and so many people come together to make it happen.
Like looking back to, 1999, it's just unbelievable. I went to Tokyo Game Show and there were giant Xbox banners everywhere, right? It's unbelievable. And you think back to 1999, think back to me and Kevin and Otto and Ted. These four guys like sitting in a room eating jelly beans, come on. That's a wild ride. That's a really amazing thing. So I guess for me personally, there's that. I can't really hold it to an absolute scale because it's really emotional. So it's just, it's nearly unbelievable.
So that was.
Just glad to hear jelly beans were part of their culture.
So that was the story about the original Xbox, its launch, and kind of gave you a little bit of foreshadowing about the 360 there and everything else too. Definitely one of my more favorite generations was the original Xbox, PS2, and GameCube generation. For sure, a lot of creativity, a lot of fun games that came out during that time. And, it's fun to just see just kind of like the whole, inside baseball of it. It's just a random idea getting yelled at by Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates to finally getting it pushed out the door and becoming a cultural icon even to this very day. Now, I know that the history of Xbox has been kind of full of a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of in-betweens, but overall, I still do like my Xbox a lot. I think they still do a lot of cool things. And Neo over here actually has a question before we get in here. He says, what was each of your favorite OG Xbox games? And we'll start with you there, Tyler.
Yeah, I just think nostalgia drives it for me. It has to be Jet Set Radio. And I'm sorry if I'm stealing your answer. But it came in that bundle. I don't know if you remember with what was it?
Yeah, GT Sport.
Sega GT.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and probably because it came bundled in, and I was a kid with no money, I just played those two games over and over. But Jet Set, took it for me.
Like for me, I got a lot of like 1As, I guess you could say, for like different reasons. Knights of the Old Republic, that for sure is like one of my favorite ones of all time. It got me really hooked into basically started to become an adult, I guess you could say. by like giving me grandiose concepts about stuff like that. On top of that, too, the next one I would say is like Fable, because I liked the comedy of it, and I thought it was a really fun game. Another game that I don't know if you people have heard about it, but I know it's backwards compatible on Xbox to this day. Lucas Films or LucasArts, sorry, published a game. It's called Armed and Dangerous. Have you ever heard about that one?
No.
Armed and Dangerous is one of the most over-the-top British comedic games, and it's like a third-person shooter. You get to fire like shark guns, and you see this little shark go under the ground and like snack
awesome.
people, like eat them alive. There's this robot unit. They're called the Shrub Patrol, and the thing is like they're these robots. They're robot gardeners, and they just want to protect like plant life. And like they have this line in the game that sticks with me to this day. They're like, "Death to the salad eaters," because they don't want to. So it's like it's on top of that wild. Obviously, Jet Set Radio. I've loved it so much. Halo 2, just from the hours upon hours of fun and over the top like Xbox Live, like just conversations, and that made a couple friends from there. All the glitches, and spent hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of hours, just playing Halo 2. Even when I got a 360, I was still playing Halo 2. That's how dedicated I was. There's just so many. I'll go over a couple more, like the Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and Return of the King.
Man, I love to hear you. I played them on GameCube, but like Return of the King with the co-op.
Oh yeah,
so good.
So excellent. One of the best licensed games ever made was there. There was another fun Tron game that came out. I think it was called, let me see here, Killer App, which was a Tron first-person shooter. That would be definitely one to check out. Quidditch World Cup is another one of those games I absolutely adored as a kid.
Oh, nice. My wife's a huge Harry Potter fan.
So is mine, but I wasn't a huge Potter fan back in the day. But when I played Quidditch World Cup, I was like, this is exactly what I want in a Quidditch game. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just nothing but like hours of like me and my buddies would just fight each other all the time. Obviously, like Need for Speed and Need for Speed Underground 2. Like those games are great. One of the best soundtracks out there. There's just so many. Like that generation just has so many fun games, and a lot of the games I named were on other consoles and stuff like that too. But like I'm trying to go for a master set of all the complete Xbox games.
Yeah,
I think there's like 800 original Xbox games, and I think I have like 400 of them.
That's a good start.
So it's a good start. Like there's just a lot of fun, like
yeah.
I could be here for like hours and hours of just talking about like fun, interesting games on the original Xbox. I might do a YouTube video about that later, but way too many to count. Go look up a lot of them. Some of them are multi-platform. One of them, I would say, if you're a fan of licensed games, there were 3 of them that were on the original Xbox, and they came to other consoles. Jaws Unleashed, where you got to play as like the Jaws shark and a over-the-top version of a Jaws movie. Definitely would say check that out. Hulk Ultimate Destruction, if you liked Prototype, this was basically the precursor to that in every way, shape, and form.
Yep, played that one.
And there was I'm going to say this right now. This is a twofer. I lied, but 2 really good DMC clones came out that were licensed games. One of them was the Van Helsing licensed game from the Van Helsing movie of early 2000s. And 2, if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, the direct sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas became a video game called Oogie Boogie's Revenge, and it was a DMC clone for the original Xbox and PS2.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and just a shout out to, I think I said it before, but those wacky sports games. Blitz, I miss Blitz, and they did NHL Hits.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the same thing, just with hockey, which was awesome, especially, being from Michigan. That was so cool.
Yeah. Did you ever play a game called Blood Throw?
No.
So that was an original Xbox game as well, where you got to, it was like a blood sports simulator where you can make a team of like murderers and they would murder each other and you have to manage your roster and stuff like that.
Nice.
Like, I would say definitely check into that one. It's a little bit more violent, but it's like, it's also technically a sports game too.
Yeah, I remember with the Blitz series. Do you remember? I don't. It may have been on 360. It may have been original Xbox. I can't remember. But Blitz the League.
Yeah,
and it was like they took it one step too far, maybe.
Yeah, we got to shoot steroids in their ass, and then like they would,
like you're on the
they had the Mortal
sideline,
Kombat like fatality, like breaking the ribs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that game was just wild. I remember my mom walking in as my guy was shooting steroids one time, and she's like, "What is that? It's just football. It's just football."
Yeah, you know, it's just regular football.
Yeah.
It's the Lawrence Taylor. Instead of crack, it's heroin. There you go.
Yeah.
And Diablo. Yeah, I didn't have time to have my wife make the Carl face on the Xbox logo. This was a last minute thing for me to just have it fun. Because I was like, what's an Xbox looking thing here? You know, let's just have a little fun. And I decided that one. But yeah, no, like I said, this, like as Lois here said, 6th gen was the best gen. I am a firm believer in terms of just like nostalgia, all the creative decisions, just how many licensed games and stuff. Like they were just like cranking out games left and right, and you know they were cranking out games literally like a year. They would get a sequel, you know, or sometimes in the case of Dot Hack, you got 4 games in 1 year, or as Diablo said on the last interview, 1 game split up into 4 parts.
Yeah. I remember King Kong. Speaking of licensed games, that was another. In my mind, I remember that game being really good. I don't know if it was or not, but
that was like one of those weird like cross-gen titles. That and Gun, like they kind of released at the end of the Xbox life cycle, but they were also next-gen launched onto the 360 as well.
Yeah, Red Dead Revolver. So I mean, Gun made me think of that, but Red Dead Revolver was a really good one.
Oh yeah. That was originally supposed to be a Capcom game before they got taken over by Rockstar. Yeah, I was blanking hard there. I was like, oh, Rockstar.
They're a pretty big company.
Yeah, you know what else is funny too? Like speaking of games that were released around this time, High Moon Studios. Do you know who they are?
Are they? Well, go ahead. Remind me. They're not Ori, are they?
No, you're thinking of Moon Studios.
Oh, there's Moon Studios. Okay, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
High Moon.
High Moon, they made those really fun Transformer Cybertron games that came out on the 360.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They got one of their big first releases was on the original Xbox called Dark Watch. Did you ever play that game?
No.
I just replayed it this year. It's a Capcom published vampire western game.
It sounds wild.
It is mediocre, but it is not bad. Like there's a lot of cool concepts. Like if you know Microsoft, I don't know who owns the IP, but if Microsoft wanted, because now they own High Moon Studios because they were part of the Activision deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if they could work out a plan and they were like, okay, let's try to bring this game back, and they gave it like a modern coat of paint with like better graphics, better controls and stuff like that, I could see this game coming back and being a good hit, especially Evil West or like that game. Did you play that one?
Yep. That was a good one.
Like that's what it kind of reminds me of a lot is Evil West, but more focused on the vampire cowboy versus like you're killing the vampires as a cowboy.
Yeah.
And then Neo says over here, everyone talks about King Kong when talking about good movie games. I don't remember it much, but I rated a 1 out of 5 stars, so I guess I didn't like it.
Hey, well, maybe I'll keep that one in my memory then. I won't replay it.
Yeah, I haven't never played that game. It's always been on my to-do list, but I don't think I own it because it's so expensive.
Is it really?
Well, for me, whenever I go out into the wild, it's like $30 to $40 usually for the 360 version, and that's the one I want. Like I think the original Xbox version is like $10, and I don't think I own it for the original Xbox either.
I think I actually played it on PS2.
I mean that would track because it, like I said, it was one of those cross-gen titles.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's more so like I've just never like I shouldn't say this like I've spent like, $900 on a video game before. So when you hear me go like, oh, $30 is expensive, it's laughable. But when I go out and game hunt, it's all about like finding that new and unusual game. So it's like, do I want to spend like $50 on a JRPG that is cool, or do I want to spend $30 on a King Kong game? It's like I gotta fucking weigh my options there. And sometimes it's like the King Kong, I'll get to it. It's like I'm working on it, as Shrek would say. How about you? You got some more original Xbox memories you'd like to share?
Oh man, I mean, we talked about ripping the music. That was cool. My dad actually did have a friend. You kind of briefly mentioned how people could mod Xboxes back in the day, and I remember he had a friend that modded his and put all the Xbox games on. He left it at our house, just one weekend, and I remember as a kid that was crazy. You boot it up and you just see the list of games. It was like overwhelming. But I remember playing. I say remember, and I forget the title. The Alien game. It's still around. You just suck the people up and you just cause chaos. It's kind of a sandbox.
Destroy All Humans.
Destroy All Humans. Thank you. Yep. I remember playing that when he left that over. That was awesome. But yeah, most of my memories. I mean, for original Xbox, it was something that my parents got me, and so other than the couple main titles that I had, or maybe once a year my dad would take me to get a game or something.
Yeah.
I really played that bundled game. I played some Halo, and then a couple of the random games here and there. But 360, I think, is more so my system where I became a gamer. Like I was more original Xbox. There's nostalgia there, but was still maybe a little bit too young to make some of my own purchases.
And you know what? You're not wrong there. I think a lot of us were relatively either middle school, early high school, for most of us who had this memory growing up. But we only had like whatever the Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, or whatever your local
family video.
Pop. Yeah, family
Rest
video.
in
There you
peace.
go. But like we only had so many hours of the weekend that we could fit into it. And like a lot of these games we kind of discovered later on, or went back to like after hearing about them from like a video game reviewer, or a friend had a copy of that game and he introduced it to you. Like a lot of games that I found later on were like the Punisher game, the original Punisher game. Do you know about that one?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the super over-the-top, bloody, violent one. I think it was the Path of Neo game, too, that I know a lot of people really did enjoy. I think Neo, he's a fan of it. No pun intended there.
Of course, you got like Star Wars Battlefront games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Battlefront 2? Oh, my goodness. That game is like one of the best Star Wars games out there. But, like, that was a generation for really fun Star Wars games. You had Knights of the Old Republic. You had Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast 2, Jedi Academy, which still is good. That game still holds up, even though it fucking pissed me off so much this year. I replayed it, and I was just like, I would turn the corner and just get like mogged by rockets, and I'm like, how am I supposed to fight this game? You know, like, what are we doing here? You got to make it at least somewhat fair. But yeah, like all these fun, amazing games. Like a lot of these games also, like I said, were on other consoles, so I did experience them on other consoles too. Like the Soul Calibur games, I played them on GameCube. Fatal Frame, they eventually came to Xbox. The first two, but
Time Splitters, I remember PS2. Just that era. A lot of GameCube. I mean, for me as well as. Oh man, there was a clone of GTA. True Crime. I remember playing True Crime on the GameCube. Of course, Double Dash and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to actually answer this question. One thing I'll never understand about Xbox is how the fuck is the Xbox Conquer censored when the Nintendo version isn't? The devs did that themselves. They thought it was funnier. Rare actually self-censored it because they thought it was funnier on the Xbox. So that is your trivia. I actually learned that from someone else. So That's why it's censored there, Diablo. And then Jedi Academy is Jedi Outcast 2. I said Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and I think I might have added the 2 by mistake there, Neo. That series has some really fucking wonky naming. It's like Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast, or Jedi Knight, and then it's just like Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and stuff like that. It's a confusing naming structure, you know.
Like the Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it's
speaking of games that like bleep stuff out. I mean, Sunset Overdrive. I don't know if you remember that mode where you could like censor it and it would just loudly bleep it.
Yeah, they also did that with. Did you ever play Brutal Legend?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, the Brutal Legend also gave you the option to censor it too. It's like, do you want to have them swear, or do you want it to have like the censored version, stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Another fun thing too, Psychonauts was one of my more favorite original Xbox games.
Oh, nice.
I love Psychonauts too. Originally, it was a quasi Xbox exclusive because they had a deal fall out with one of their publishers. Microsoft was actually supposed to publish it, and then they pulled out the last minute, and that's why it eventually came to PS2. But oh my goodness, the ending of that game, oh, that was so tough.
Yeah, I actually didn't play Psychonauts until Psychonauts 2 came out, and I went back because it was a backwards compat game.
Yeah,
on Game Pass. I went back and played it that way.
Yeah, I liked Psychonauts 2 a lot. I remember when they announced that at the Game Awards, I was like, oh, hell yeah! You know, I've been waiting for so many games to get sequels, and ironically enough, they've all been announced at the Game Awards. It's like, first it was Psychonauts 2, then it was Alan Wake 2, and then it was Space Marine 2. I was like, all right, let's go. All the games I want sequels to, let's go. Yeah,
I actually never played a Space Marine game.
Oh, you need to, especially now. Like they just remade the first one, and it's only on Xbox actually right now and PC. It's part of Game Pass, so if you ever want to check it out, I highly recommend it. It's a very good kind of Gears of War style clone. Really good story, and it ties directly into Space Marine 2. One thing I always say, if you only played Space Marine 2, that ending does not hit you as hard unless you played Space Marine 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that was a treat. When like I'm not spoiling this obviously because I want people to play these games because they're amazing and awesome. But I was like, damn. So I can't wait for Space Marine 3.
Yeah, going back, I mean, just the Psychonauts. One of the first games I ever played with my wife. She's not a gamer, but eventually, you know, we pulled her over. We've won a little bit. She plays some games, but
there you go.
Costume Quest, which I believe was also a Double Fine game.
Yes, it was.
That was like her first Costume Quest 2. Actually, it was like her first dive into some of these games, and yeah, we still every once in a while around Halloween time we'll go back and play a playthrough of it. It's a great game.
Oh yes, you can beat it within a day too. That's the best part about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that both Costume Quest 1, the DLC, and 2 are all on Xbox, and I need to play the DLC and beat number 2 as well. I've been slacking, but I thought those games are super charming.
Yeah.
Double Fine for me is one of my favorite developers. I like Tim Schafer a lot. I want to do an episode because one of the Icons episodes I have is on Tim Schafer. I just need to find somebody willing to come on and do a commentary with me. But I just played The Keeper, and I know you said you fell asleep playing it, which is fine. But
no, I get it.
The early part of that game is slow, but like, oh my goodness, the end like run of that game is so drastically different and awesome.
Yeah. No, I want to get back to it.
It's great. Like, just stick with it. It's like only about like a 4 or 5 hour game. But one thing I will say about The Keeper generally is that I felt like I was playing it for more than 4 hours. That's how captivated I got by it.
Cool.
I was just like locked in. I was just having fun. You know, like, okay, this game is creepy. It's weird. Like, why am I playing as a sentient lighthouse and stuff like that? And it's not a over the top like, you know, adventure platformer action game and stuff, but by the end of that game it like morphs into just this giant acid trip of like I was like, whoa, you know,
It's a beautiful game too.
incredibly beautiful. And like I said, the more you play it, the like once you get to the end, you're just gonna just be like, I have no idea what I just experienced, but I just enjoyed that. Like, go on.
No,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just it's when I played it, it was like a walking simulator. But coming from the guy who loves Death Stranding, it sounds like crazy. But yeah, I mean, what you're describing to me is Death Stranding. It's a walking simulator, but at the end, your mind just explodes. So yeah, maybe I just need to get back into it. Also, Tim Schafer, I saw an interview. He wasn't actually involved. I mean, he was involved, but he wasn't the director of it.
Yeah, I think now that they got more financing by Microsoft, he can delegate more responsibilities to his under team too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their
Good.
next game is going to be. That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. I hope they keep going down this road of just random, don't make a sequel to nothing, just kind of whatever's on your mind, just do it.
Yeah, I
It's kind
like
of cool.
that's one thing I like about Obsidian too. Like I played a small interview yesterday of a couple of leads at Obsidian, and I didn't know this, but they have like a very low turnover rate in the video game industry of people who work there.
Oh, that's
Like
awesome.
like I guess what they do is they kind of like spec, like they give like their like they D&D their people, like if you've been there for so long, they give you a reward. And it's like you could be a warrior or a paladin or something like that, and they give you like
That's cool.
special props and stuff, and you can level up the more that you're there and stuff like that.
That's
So
funny. Yeah, Outer Worlds 2 so far, I'm about 15 hours in. It's really good.
yeah, I really need to get back to a lot of that stuff. I love Grounded. I wish I could find more people to play Grounded with. It's so hard, but let me rephrase that. It's hard for me to find people to play that because I am not a survival builder kind of guy. I'm like Patrick with the plank on his head in those type of games, you know?
Yeah.
I I just need someone to guide my autism to do the proper thing that they need done. Like I'm the worker ant. You build the thing. I just gather the materials.
You're in Minecraft just digging down.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. How far can I go before I die? I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not so much like as I always say. It's not that I'm not a creative person per se. I am just I have stupid hands. I have no artistic skills to like build and make stuff like that. I'm more of a guy that is like a reactionary more than a builder kind of guy. It's like I'm funny or I can make jokes and have a conversation. But you ask me to build a house and like come up with this grandiose design, I'm like, yeah, stupid hands. Can't do it.
Nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their skill set.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you watch Futurama?
No, I haven't in a long time.
Well, do you remember the episode when Fry makes a deal with Robot Devil?
Nope.
All right, so there's an episode of Futurama where Fry makes a deal with the Robot Devil because he's like, I got stupid human hands, right? So he's trying to replace his hands with someone that has better hands, and he replaces his hands with the Robot Devil. So he's able to like do everything better now that he's got the Robot Devil hands.
Yeah.
But the funny part is like it keeps trying to choke him out. He's like, oh, I'll do that sometime. But that's how I feel sometimes with like those like survival and crafting games. It's like I just have no ability to like create. Like my wife, she's more the artistic person, as you know, we talked about this before. My wife loves those cozy farm sims, and I think you said your wife does too, right?
Yeah, she does.
I think you said Dreamlight Valley was her big thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like my wife's been on that too. Our friend Sammy, she's also in on it. She keeps telling me like, "Oh, you should play Dreamlight Valley." I'm like, I have much better things to do. I'm sorry.
Zero interest.
Zero interest. But yeah, it's like I respect those games that are coming out. Did you see that new one that's coming out, that Poketopia or something? I think
I
it's called.
did see that, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little excited for it.
I was like, that's actually kind of cool. I like the concept behind it. I showed it to my wife, and she texted me back like, "I'm in." So
Yeah. Yeah, because it kind of looks like a little bit of it's like Animal Crossing meets Pokemon, and I'm like, I can come for that.
Yeah, and plus they just announced like all those Animal Crossing updates too. I watched I watched that yesterday because I didn't watch it live, and my wife was like, "Oh, I kind of dig this," and I'm like, "Are you gonna go back and play it?" She's like, "I don't know, probably not."
Oh man, Animal Crossing. I definitely was. I think everyone was into that game at the time. But man, the turnips. I
Oh
was
my
just a
goodness, yeah.
stockbroker. That's all I cared about.
It's like the turnip economy. That's all I would hear about. I was like the only one playing Doom while everyone else was playing Animal Crossing. I was like, I felt like the goth kid hanging out with a bunch of preps. I was like, what's going on here? I don't know. Are we gonna rip and
Oh
tear?
man.
No, they're fucking talking about turnips and
Nah,
oh, Elijah
we gotta
Wood.
trade these turnips at the right time.
We got to reset our clocks to mess with the turnip economy. And Elijah Wood came to my island and said it was all right. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on here? It's like I'm playing Doom. No, but like now I guess we could start winding this down. But with all the stuff that's kind of happened with the Xbox One, the Series consoles, and now the new hybrid console that Microsoft is talking about releasing, with price points being about as high as like, you know, some people are trying to say it's like $1,200 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I generally have been a little bit on the fence with some stuff Microsoft is doing, but over the time I've really loved the Play Anywhere. I know you and I had a conversation about like the ROG Ally and Steam Deck and stuff like that. And I just kind of want to hear your thoughts about that too, because you're one of the only people I know that actually got the ROG Ally.
Yeah, actually, it's a funny story. My son, he's 11 years old, and he has his own bakery business. And over the summer, he would go to farmers markets and sell cookies. So he actually bought it for himself,
That's wild.
which was pretty cool. I mean, being a dad, seeing him do that was pretty awesome. I didn't love seeing $600 disappear, but the system itself is really cool. And so, I play it and mess with it and stuff like that. But as far as the direction of Xbox, I mean, I hate to see the competition maybe leaving a little bit. They're not a direct competitor to Sony, at least it doesn't seem so. And I think I'm one of the people, I think competition's good. You know, there's console wars, of course, but I think ultimately helps keep prices down, drives innovation, things like that. But this may be a product of it. And so overall, I'm still excited to see it. The reason I have a Steam Deck, I don't want to be stuck on my desk gaming on a PC. I know PC gaming's huge right now, but I like to be in the living room. And so the idea of having my Steam library on an Xbox in the future, even if it's $1,200, I can fully admit I'm spoiled. I'm lucky to have a good job. I know everyone's not as lucky. And so,
Yeah.
you know, if I want to splurge on something like that, I have afforded the ability to do so. And so I'm a little bit, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. I think because it's a PC thing, I'm kind of hoping that they're going to have the big $1,200 machines, but they're also going to have a $300 machine is what I'm hoping for. But ultimately, I think I'm more curious than anything. I don't want to be like immediately jump on the hate train and say they're making the stupidest decision ever. Because I do kind of look at the numbers sometimes, and I've seen like the financials. Xbox is making money, and so whether or not people say it's failing, I mean, ultimately business is going to business, and they're making money. And so I think that they're using that and trending in that direction, and I'm very curious to see what happens with it. I'm not negative on it. I still subscribe to Game Pass, even though it's $30 a month. I did think about canceling though. I mean, they keep pushing, we're all going to be gone. But
exactly.
But yeah. Ultimately, I am excited for it. The handheld market, all that stuff is something I'm really into. I love my Steam Deck. I have not sold my Steam Deck to get a ROG Ally, but I've been tempted.
Same. I have definitely been same.
Yeah, like I mean, I think about it often actually. Like every time I pick up my Steam Deck, and luckily Steam OS is so good that it like a lot of times I'm like, I don't need it, and I talk myself out of it. But I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna do it. Just
I just want to upgrade. That's really what it is. You know, it's like my Steam Deck is old now. You know.
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I mean, and I understand why there's pushback. Don't get me wrong. $1,200 is a lot of dollars, especially for this gaming hobby. And I understand a lot of people you can't do that for the masses. So we'll see what they do, but I don't want to start hating on something that hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? I was also I was day one adopter of the Xbox One. I mean, so maybe I'm the wrong person to ask. I didn't care. I was like, this Connect thing connects to my cable box. This is sick. You know, I was in. So maybe there's a little bit of fandom there, and I'm just blind to some of it. But ultimately, I am excited about it, and I'm really excited to have hopefully Steam on an Xbox one day and have that choice to be able to jump back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. What about you?
I think I've made my opinions known, but I guess for people who don't know, I am just I work all day. I stand in front of a computer all day. I read like the screen all day. Generally, when I get home, for me, it's like I eat my dinner, I take my shower, and then I go sit on my giant couch, put my feet up, have my two puppies lay on me, and I'm booting up my whatever console I'm playing that day, and that's how I like to play. I can't really do that with my PC. I mean, I know you can, but it's a whole lot of extra steps, and my PC is very expensive. All right, like when I bought it, like my graphics card I think was like $1,000, and then all the other parts that came close to it were already close to $2,000 or something like that. And I am not the best with tech. I've many times said I'm a Luddite, you know.
Yeah.
I have had so many issues where like I buy a game, I download the game, I click launch the game, and game don't work, and I hate that, and it's very annoying. And there's only like a few games that I really do like to play on the PC myself personally, and those are like all RTS games, because I need the mouse and keyboard to be specific and direct and right on point, you know.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I know the mouse is better for first-person shooters, obviously for accuracy and stuff like that. But I'm not competitive anymore. That's another thing about it. It's like my days of playing, you know, competitive online multiplayer where I'm PvPing are pretty much behind me. And that's just because time-wise, I don't want to commit to it as much, and I just want to play more and more games. Now, that doesn't stop me from buying a lot of games on Steam. You know, my Steam library I think is pretty impressive still too, and I Steam share with a few of my friends, and we share everything around, game share, everything else like that. I just like playing at my couch, chilling and relaxing, and that's why I kind of like consoles a lot more. I don't hate Microsoft's ecosystem that they've been building. If the rumors are true that it's more PC oriented and it's just going to be like very specific, you're launching the launcher and you're just getting to it, I think that's fine with me. As long as I could play them natively and it's not like cloud streaming from Steam or something. It's like I could download them on here, launch it, and let's go.
Yeah.
As I always tell people, it's not my job to do the dollars and cents, because I don't work for Microsoft and I don't work for Xbox or PlayStation or any of these other companies at all. All right. At the end of the day, my job is, does the game bring me joy? Does the thing do what I want it to do? And like you said, I have a good job. I know I could afford the Xbox, right now. I'm surrounded by a lot of games. If I really want to, I can sell a few of them, and I could use that as a down payment for my next Xbox too. I'd have to see what it does and how user-friendly it is. I know that the ROG is kind of not user-friendly sometimes, I've heard, is like the one big downside. But overall, I've heard my friend who knows how to work computer stuff, I usually just give it to him to set it up for me, and then it becomes like dumbass proof, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like why I like it a lot too, because I know people who are smarter than me, like they love the whole PC thing and they could set it up and they can do it a lot better than me.
Yeah.
But I am at the mid tier. I'm not a boomer and I'm not a savant. I'm one of these people who's just like, I could do this, but I don't have the time to waste. I just want to go and just play my games as fast as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that there's a lot of interesting buzz around it. Like I said, I don't think the Series X and S was bad at all. I think it got a little too much hate. I think more so what we're seeing happen at Microsoft is a direct response to them overspending during COVID more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once they bought Activision Blizzard, I did a whole show talking about the possibilities they could do. And then a year later, everything I thought they would do was completely wrong because, listen, when you spend, 78, or 69, $70 billion, you're going to have to make that money. And things change. And generally speaking, I'm also like this. Even though we talked about a lot of fun, cool exclusives that help make a console, I don't really care necessarily about exclusives anymore. I just want to play like the best game where I can play it and how I can play it. And if they're on the Xbox, I play them on the Xbox. If they're not on the Xbox, well, then my options are like PC and then PlayStation and Nintendo. And another thing too is like what we has been leaked. What we're seeing now with the PlayStation Portal, now getting like full on cloud support if you have PlayStation Premium to play your games. The leak of the cross-buy feature for PC and PS5, which has been more so confirmed as real, just not announced yet by leakers. It does feel like we are starting to see consoles evolve from like a dedicated system to being like more like glorified gaming launchers.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. You can pick where you are. I do agree with you. Competition helps. Kind of like what we're seeing with like pricing charges on PlayStation being like different, even for like people who have like the same accounts and stuff, where like they'll get like a 5% increase or decrease in discounts on games. I do think having access to more markets helps bring down prices and change prices, and it's just good to shop around,
Yeah. Soon we're just, most likely, I mean, they're just main publishers, and that's okay, like you said.
Yeah.
As long as we got a place to play them, and that doesn't disappear, disintegrate, which obviously it won't. We need somewhere to play these games. We'll all be all right.
Yeah, especially because the only real like last stand is the Switch, because the Switch just has like such a dedicated fan base who buy their exclusives at an insane rate. And even then, Microsoft, Nintendo had to change their strategy from like the Wii U to like the Switch. All right, the Wii U, to put this in perspective, lifetime sold 13 million units. As of September 30th, the Switch 2 sold 10 million units. All right.
Yeah.
So we can already see like innovation changes. Plus, they always did more better with like the 3DS and the DS and stuff like that too during that time. Gaming, you never know what's going to happen. You never know when it's going to be the last one, what's going to change, who's going to adopt what, who's going to copy everyone else. I mean, Sony is the first one to really pioneer cloud gaming for consoles with PS Now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget about that stuff too. Dreamcast was like the first one to innovate with online support before that finally died. So you never know. And definitely got a couple more comments here we'll definitely throw out here. First off, going back to Diablo, Elijah Wood does that to people. When I played Doom, he broke down the door, called me a noob, and proceeded to speedrun, killing the icon of sin. Got the world record too, then slapped me and just left. I'm still confused. That's pretty fun. Man. And then we got PC Mustard Race from Mr. Lowest. Neo says, I can't wait to be able to play my Steam games on my TV/Xbox. If you buy prepaid Game Pass cards off third-party sites, you can save a ton of money. That is true. Yeah. And I know that a lot of places still have the 3 months for $60 if you buy the physical cards out in the wild, which I've been doing every now and then. So you could stack up your Game Pass that way. So you essentially get buy two, get one free. And that's how I look at it.
I've seen that.
And Lois says, PC users hate Microsoft the most. Just saying. PC users are all over the place. Yeah,
I lost my whole friend group to PC back in the Xbox One days. They left the consoles and they all went PC. So that's why I hate PC. Just kidding. I know I hate PC.
But like the whole thing with like PC users is like they hate everything. Like they bitch and moan about everything. They're some of the like most annoying people online. But I put this in a caveat. A lot of people online are the most annoying people online. Sony ponies, Xbox, Nintendo drones, like the most dedicated like hipsters and like hardcore people. Like they're just annoying. I think we could all agree on that one. I have just more hate towards Sony ponies because one of them got my Twitter account banned. So that's the only reason why. And then
no.
It was the most BS thing ever because they freaking were sending me pictures of his penis, and I was just like getting upset.
Oh, jeez.
And then they reported me because I said, "Man, you're so obsessed with wanting me to see your dick. Do you want to see mine too? Like you have to pay me money to see mine." And then they banned me for that, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, "Really? For that?" But
the internet is just such a wild place. It's still, I mean, it shouldn't amaze me, but sometimes I just shake my head. I can't believe how we've gotten to where we have.
I can. I just remember just being on E-Bombs World, like watching like all those over the top like Flash videos, and I'm like seeing the end result of my generation, our generation, I should say, reaching the terminal phase, and I'm like, yeah, I understand how we got here. We grew up on this stuff. We're all fucked up in some way, shape, or form.
We probably are the most toxic generation because of Call of Duty. I was just talking to my brother about getting arc raiders. And of course, we were talking about, man, it's just so fun to get somebody on your side and then ruin their day.
Yeah, well, it's like all this other stuff of like the old internet culture. Like, I don't know how hardcore you were. It sounded like you had more of a loving family, but for me, I'm watching shows like Wonder Chosen, Andy Milonakis, Jackass. Like, we're watching all these like just insane videos of people hurting themselves and making like the most insane kind of like weird, trippy drug humor like out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I can understand how some of us came out through it messed up. I mean, me in particular, I'm totally messed up. I'm almost like a former drug addict, so I came from like all that bad side. We used to watch all those like insane like ISIS videos when they were still like allowed on YouTube for like the 5 minutes, and then they went viral and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's just like, yeah, it's like there's a lot of people like me who did not get out of it and kind of self-correct a little bit, who still are a little messed up, but, we're still able to hold a conversation.
You seem all right, Carl. It's
just a little all right, It's like, I have my ticks, I can't say I did. But it's like, I'm alive. I can't say that about some of my friends, so there's that.
Right.
But, that generation was like probably, like I said, prime example of a lot of fun innovation and cool stuff. Original Xbox helped me get a lot of that, and I think that's a good way to end it for today. I really do appreciate you for coming on, Mr. Tyler. Would you like to say who you are, what you do, so on and so forth again?
Yeah, thanks for having me. The creator of gameshlf.com. Be sure to go check it out. Place to track your collection of games. Currently, we're actually having we're doing voting on Game of the Year. So even if you don't use GameShelf, hop on there real quick, do a little Game of the Year vote, so we get trying to get as many as possible. It's actually really interesting seeing the back end, and I think it'll surprise a lot of people what we have going on. Our users are not, at least so far, going with the grain, which is pretty cool to see actually. So, but yeah, check out gameshelf.com. It's only been around since August, so we're still new. Join the Discord. We're making changes every single day, so it's exciting.
Yes, and I've linked this link to the gameshelf.com in the comments over here. So if you want to click on it, make an account, go support a small creator, and join the site, join the Discord. He's very active. Everyone there is pretty fun, pretty chill place. When are you going to get the Apple app, sir? I'm still waiting.
Man, I was hoping you weren't going to bring it up.
No! I want it.
No, I mean, it is. I mean, I agree with you. I've been like, I bang my head against the wall every day when I send it to Apple and they turn me down again. Essentially, it comes down to money. We have a support page, and I'm like, it's not. You don't even have. It's a free app, but they're, Apple needs their cut. So I do have to figure that out. But basically, I have to just give them their cut if someone donates to the site. So once that's figured out, we will be there because I use it on my phone. So you can be jealous about that.
That's the one thing. I'm a big app guy for my phone. I do pretty much everything on my phone. And for some reason, because I use Brave, it has such a hard time working on my Brave browser. So like
Okay.
I'll
That's
log
interesting.
in and then it'll log me out. And it's not exclusive to your site. It has like
Yeah.
I have issues with it on Twitter as well. Like I'll try to post from my Twitter account and it'll give me like, "Oh, you're spamming. We can't do it." I'm like, "I just hit one message. What are you talking about spamming?"
You know what, Carl? I'll private message you after this. I can send you the app. You can have it exclusively on the iOS devices.
Hell yeah. No, but I appreciate that. Still in those sense. It is also on Google Play Store though.
Yes, it is out there on Android.
So if you are an Android user and you want to just also deal with the app, look it up on the Google Play Store as well. Still working on Apple Store, but Apple, of course, is the hipster network and they suck ass and, so on and so forth. But, dude, Tyler, this was awesome. I appreciate you for stopping by. Hopefully I could get you in on some more stuff later this year, especially around the holiday times. I'll have to message you later after that and figure some stuff out about that too. But everyone, that will do it for this week for everything in my YouTube channel sphere. Don't know what I really have too much planned for this week besides Neo, who is in the chat. He will be back on for another episode of Legacy Loading as we talk about the Mega Man series, the Rockman series for you in Japan, or you hipsters who want to just pretend that you know more than everyone else. So that will be for next week. And of course, we will do another episode next Friday of our weekly gaming updates for all the news of the week. But besides that, nothing else planned outside of that, besides for also our return, finally, of Party Chat with Neo and Ryan and me going over some tomfoolery just in time for Veterans Day, too. So if you are a veteran, happy early Veterans Day for you. Thank you for your service. And as Ryan says, he will say, "My pleasure," like a Chick-fil-A employee. So until next time, everyone, have yourself a very wonderful weekend. If you're in the Midwest, stay warm because it just sounds like we're going to get pelted with snow and rain all weekend. For everyone else, enjoy.